He's kind of a lead singer then.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December 10th Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Robertson, will you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dick. Next, we'll move on to roll call of members. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Mayor Gentry.
Present.
Jane Taylor.
Present.
Bill Stoner.
Present.
Dick Robertson.
Present.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. Any amendments or changes to the minutes as proposed? Okay, we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Motion and a second. All those here say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I did not vote because I was not here.
Okay. Minutes are approved. Next, we'll move on to department head reports. First up is Police Department, Chief Wormuth.
During the period between 11/26 and today's date of 12/10, the Lebanon Police Department responded to 556 calls for service. A total of 21 persons were arrested for the following crimes: 4 for wanted on a warrant, 4 for operating a vehicle while intoxicated, 3 for possession of methamphetamine, 2 for possession of marijuana, 1 for possession of a controlled substance, 2 for battery, 2 for driving while suspended. 1 for obstruction of justice, 1 for false informing, and 1 for operating without a driver's license. A total of 5 handgun carry licenses were issued by our office. The Lebanon Police Department is proud to announce the pending promotions of 2 of our officers effective January 1 of 2019. Patrol Officer Ryan Williamson will be promoted to the rank of sergeant, and Lieutenant Scott Hood will be promoted to the rank of captain. A promotion ceremony will be held in January where they will be officially pinned to the new rank by their loved ones, and we hope that you can attend our ceremonies. It's a very special time for our families. On the week beginning December 17th, we have officers attending training. Officer Jamie Newland will be attending training in Indianapolis on prisoner searches and control. And Officer Clark Lecker will be traveling to Indianapolis and starting training to become a field training officer for the department. In our current hiring process, we are now in the background investigation phase. The original pool of 25 applicants has been whittled down to 8. When all the background investigations are complete, the remaining applicants will be interviewed by the Department Hiring Committee before proceeding to a polygraph examination. We hope to have several qualified applicants to bring in front of the Board of Works by the end of January. We are trying to fill 4 spots currently, and in case we do not have the number of qualified applicants in this process, we've already started a new hiring process. Interested persons can pick up a pre-application from the Lebanon Police Department anytime Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, or call 765-482-8836, and Ruthie will arrange a pre-app to be emailed to you. All pre-apps must be turned in by this Friday, December 14th. And finally, we at the Lebanon Police Department wish the city and the public a very Merry Christmas. Our hope is that the holidays will truly be a time of peace for the community after a very rough 2018. Please know that the officers of the Lebanon Police Department will be there when needed 24/7, 365. All I ask of the public is that when they are enjoying this special time with their families and are gathered around the Christmas tree or dinner table, remember that there is a police officer, a firefighter, and an emergency med tech in the city that is not home with their family. Please say a prayer for them to have a quiet shift. Nothing else to report at this time.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions from the board?
I have a question, Chief.
Yes, sir.
What's false informing?
False informant, they were giving false information, trying to throw off an investigation. That's actually a crime.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Any questions from the public? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Fire Department, Chief Batts.
Good evening, everyone. I have a very brief report this evening. Since the last Board of Works meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 146 emergency calls of service, logged 106 training hours, performed 16 commercial inspections, provided 2 occupancy updates, installed 2 car seats, and we participated in 1 public education event. We are preparing for the second board interviews of our application process. The total number of applicants is down to 16. On November 14th, Boone County 911 Communications and Boone County Public Safety unveiled ProQA from Priority Dispatch. ProQA enhances the delivery of emergency medical call types. 911 dispatchers now use a standardized protocol to gain information from the caller. The information is entered into ProQA, and it correctly categorizes the call and the type of incident and the severity of the incident. This gives responders a more detailed information regarding the incident they are responding to, and these enhancements offer a greater level of public safety for everyone. This is working very well for our responders. We really like the upgrades to dispatch. So that's all I have for you this evening.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions from the board for Chief? Any questions from the public? Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. All right, next up is Parks Department. John Messenger.
Good evening. The Christmas in the Cabin and the Christmas Parade were on Saturday, December 1st. Both events had good turnouts despite the nasty rainy weather. The carriage rides, as far as that went, we had 2 carriage rides going to happen, and unfortunately one of the horses went down, so we had to cram everybody into one. Everybody was very patient with us, and we got everybody in. So thanks for their wait, and the horse is doing better now. So just an update on the horse. The crowd was consistent with lots of little ones coming to see Santa. The face painting was also a big hit this year in the cabin. Also, thank you to Countryside Christian Church for serving hot chocolate in the cabin. That was much needed with the nasty weather that we had there. Several families were also able to take a carriage ride around the park. The parade had about 20 floats turn out this year, about 4 more than last year, I believe. There was also big crowds on Meridian Street and downtown and along Northeast Street, especially in the park too. There were tons of people. There were several families throughout everywhere. Looking forward to adding more floats next year. I want to thank Home National because they sponsor the free carriage ride throughout the park. We appreciate their support there. Also, about every department I think was there. The mayor was there passing out candy. Did you run out of candy, by the way? Candy
Didn't even make it out of the park.
There you go. That's and Chief Wormuth for leading the parade, along with the fire and the street department were also participating. Want to thank them. Radio Mom led the parade there a little bit too, and that was nice of them. And Tammy Richardson for speaking at the very start of the parade. Taylor, our office manager, got married this last Saturday. Beautiful wedding. Congrats to her and her now new husband, Cody Orr. The wedding was beautiful, and we were very happy to welcome Cody into the Park family. She is currently soaking up the sun in Jamaica now, so she has a whole week to enjoy that. And he's volunteered for about 3 or 4 years since they've been dating, so appreciate his help, and I'm sure he'll be out there a lot more. Security Pro's been in Memorial Park and Abner Longley installing more cameras and improving the camera views for about the past 2 to 3 weeks. They're hoping to finish up next week, and we're looking forward to the updated cameras that we have. Again, I want to thank Costa. He's helped out, been instrumental in helping us get everybody together and see that we're all on the same page. He's been a huge help for the parks. All park projects are moving along. The splash pad, dog park, the trails, restroom to the barn addition, and memorial shelter will be completed by 2020. Hopefully midway through next year we'll have all those complete. A lot of them 1st of May should be complete to prepare for our 100th year anniversary in 2020. And that's all I had.
Okay, thank you, John. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up, Engineering Department, Kevin Krulik.
Good evening, board members. Engineering report for this meeting. Since since we last spoke, we've continued to wrap up things on East Street. All as-built have now been submitted to our consultant, and the consultant or contractors have also submitted final retainage releases. We will not release any of that retainage until we get the all clear from our consultant on the completion of those as-built, as well as we do have one outstanding concrete performance issue that is also pending their structural review. But we're nearing the end of the East Street project, and hopefully we'll be closing that out before the year's end. On the Northern Interchange, a brief update there. We did make our submittal last week to NDOT for the notice of funding request for the 2024 fiscal year. So that project has been submitted with a 20% local match, approximately $14 million of the approximately $70 million project. Keep in mind that does also include the relocations of 52 and 39 to this new interchange, as well as a 3-mile relinquishment of 39 through our downtown. Moving on to the downtown, work completed since we last spoke. All the water main ties are now complete. Curbs along Washington are also all complete at this point. The final stone wall segments were installed today, so the limestone wall around the courthouse, all those pieces are in place. Obviously, there's some finishing to do, some sealing to do, some sanding here and there to remove some imperfections, but all the pieces have now been set. Vector and gas relocations on West Main Street are still ongoing, but should be wrapping up very shortly. Silva cells on Washington Street have been installed. Final light pole bases, the decorative shrouds that go around the bases of the light poles were installed on Meridian Street, as well as they did a once-over of all the catenary light bulbs and replaced anything that was out, just to clean that up. In addition, light pole bases along along Washington Street and also along State Road 39 have also been set. So you'll start to see some new light poles going up. And then big news over the weekend, they moved in ground thawing equipment to begin thawing the subgrade on the east half of Washington Street in anticipation of paver setting, which is scheduled sometime for this week, but that'll be weather pending, and obviously we're waiting on a host of other things to fall in line, but the first step is to thaw out the ground, get the stone fine graded, and then get decorative paving company in here for setting pavers, but scheduled to begin this week. Work expected, in the next 2 weeks. I shouldn't say until we meet again, because that'll be in January, but vector and gas main relocations on West Main Street should be completed. Traffic signal poles, the large decorative traffic signal poles, the stoplight poles, are scheduled to go in at any moment. They have been delivered to our subcontractor, and we're just waiting final coordination to get them in here. Asphalt patches are also scheduled for this week to wrap up any of the patches that were created with the utility or other cuts in the street. Sidewalks along the north side of Washington Street are scheduled for this week, but that is weather pending, and right now that subgrade is frozen, and we won't let them pour concrete on frozen subgrades. So as they begin to open up the street for a paver installation, we'll be moving those ground thawing equipment around to thaw out other areas for work. Storm sewer work at the intersection of Main Street and 39. This is west of 39. That will be installed this week, as well as some final signal and conduit wiring and for lighting and for the traffic signal poles. Those will also be completed this week. We're also expected to complete all curbs and walks this week. Again, weather pending, and assuming they can get all the subgrade thawed out to where it needs to be. But that is scheduled to be completed this week, and then as well as setting the pavers on the east half of Washington Street, and then moving our way west. Per White Construction, their schedule has them wrapping up the Washington Street work and having that open for traffic by the end of next week, mid-December, and looking at the intersection improvements by Christmas. A lot has to happen between now and Christmas, and we're dealing with some unseasonably cold temperatures, but that is the current schedule we have from the contractor. Again, we thank the Heart of Lebanon for all they're doing to promote downtown. Please continue to look for their daily updates and continue to support our downtown businesses. Looking forward to the West Main Street Big 4 Trail project, the phase 2, if you will. Bond closing is now complete. Notice to proceed will be issued to White Construction this week, and construction work is scheduled to probably begin in late February with some water main installation work. No road closures will be permitted until April 1 of 2019, but as I said, utility work could begin prior to road closures. Required they do all that utility work under traffic. A few other things, miscellaneous, the pavement resurfacing projects. No update since we last met, but there is still one street, West Elm Street, west of Coombs, that has to be done, as well as a couple of ADA ramps. Those have been delayed till 2019. When the weather breaks, we'll get back in for that. We are also processing payment invoices for the contractors that did the resurfacing projects for this year. Indianapolis Avenue Phase 2 tree clearing and stump removal is now complete. Utility relocation work is ongoing. You might have seen Vectron on site or through their subcontractors, Miller Pipeline. They've been on site for a few days, a few weeks actually, working on that area to relocate the gas mains. Water main relocation by Lebanon Utilities is scheduled for bidding in January, and expect they will start that work sometime in February, and that will run through the spring of 2019. We're still scheduled for the road reconstruction letting work on January 16th with NDOT, with an estimated start of construction early in the fall of next year, with a completion by late spring, early summer of 2020. Grant Street, again, NDOT has been reviewing and has now completed our contracts, and we have now executed the contracts between us and NDOT. NDOT is now processing funding requests for the funding of the design work, and it's a ways out, but we expect construction to start in 2021 or 22. Riley Ridge curb installation is complete. We did use, the contractor did use freeze guard additives to accelerate curing and to accommodate that cold weather concrete placement. Asphalt base courses are expected to begin tomorrow, but we're maybe need to delay that due to temperatures. Sunbrook, no update there, other than construction is still expected to begin this winter or early spring. Drake Estates, Plan Commission will hear that project on Monday. And then on the State Road 39 bridge inspection, the final inspection under our current contract was completed last week. Results have not been seen yet, but those will be pending. We expect those to be successful. NDOT has currently permitted 6-month inspection cycles, and we're hopeful with this successful inspection that we'll be able to successfully lobby them to go to 1-year inspection cycles. That's all I have.
Hey, Kevin, there's a lot of information there. Any questions from the board?
No.
Any questions from the public? Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, next up is Planning Department, Ben Bontrager.
Good evening, board members. Planning Department continues to still be busy while we're not doing construction projects. There's a lot of things going on in our office as well. We completed an additional 40 building inspections over the last couple of weeks and issued 16 new permits. And I will highlight one in there. Some people may have been wondering what happened to that Taco John's project that came through the planning office last year. Well, it's back. If you notice, they closed last week and the building was torn down, and they're already building the new building this week. I believe they actually have their first inspection for the new building tomorrow. So they are going gangbusters to get that building up and get that project open. So that's great news. And then we've also issued some permits on some new projects in the business park as well. So there's going to be construction going on throughout the winter season, as well as some additional demo work on some of our other projects like Gateway Marketplace and North Patterson Street. So pretty excited to see some of those projects moving forward. In terms of code enforcement, as you'll see, you know, we're kind of winding down for the end of the year. Not a whole lot of grass and weed complaints coming in when it's 20 degrees outside, but we do continue to investigate some unsafe structure issues, and trash and debris is continuing to be a major issue that we're dealing with, and then as well as unlicensed vehicles and junk vehicles. So those are things we continue to work on. I don't have many other updates on special projects. The comp plan continues to move forward. The steering committee did meet last week, so we continue to move forward with that, and there will be some additional information after the first of the year on public involvement opportunities. So that's all I've got.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions from the board? No. Questions from the public? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ben.
Next is Street and Stormwater Department, Dave Newell.
Good evening. Sorry I'm a little messy. Came straight from the shop.
We got 20 calls since our last meeting. That's good, slowing down a little bit. 5 were for brush, 5 for dead animals, 5 for leaves, and 5 for recycling, so they were all equal out there. We have finished up leaf season for the year. We got to call it sometime, and looks good now. So we are, if they want to bag them up, we'll help them. You know, we can come by and get them in the truck or something, because I know there's a couple trees that hadn't fell, but as far as getting trucks ready, we just don't want to get caught with, you know, we need to plow when it's time. So, but it looks pretty good around town. We did the guys did a great job, so I'm proud of them for that. Let's see, we have been working on limbs still. We got 1 truck we kept for our leaf machine still, but we're getting ready to break it down probably the end of this week, and then it'll be done for the season. We'll pick them up by hand, but it's what we usually do around Christmas time, you know, or after, I guess. When they throw trees out, we pick them up in trucks and take them to the shop, mulch them up. We have, like I said, we have set up the rest of the trucks except 1 for the plow season now. The guys were out today cleaning off drains. Seems like we wouldn't be, but you know, with the leaves, it's always keep it from freezing up. If we do get these rains in the winter, then it's a problem. So we just keep them cleaned off best we can, knock ice off of them, anything we can do. Tom has been doing a good job doing our inspections on our new construction still, which is really slow right now. Riley Ridge is going, trying to lay some asphalt. I don't think it's going to happen, but we're trying to work with them best we can. But Tom has been checking that out. And I guess since our last one we did go out, we used roughly 17 tons of salt when we had that storm. Still haven't dropped any plows yet, but had to salt a few times. Let's see, I think the guys came in on Wednesday the 5th at 3:30, I think, wasn't it, Craig, when you guys come out, and we was out with them. So still only had 5 trucks at that time. So, but they made it safe for everybody, and that's all I got. Okay, thank you, Dave. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, last but not least, Communications, Community Development, Joe LePage.
Good evening, everyone. I want to echo a little bit of what John said regarding Christmas in the cabin and also the Christmas parade. We had a Christmas downtown as well. The tree lighting ceremony went great. Mother Nature kind of was kind to us in the afternoon and evening, and so we were able to have the live reindeer, Comet and Cupid, were of course a big hit once again, and our sweet market that we had was very well attended as well. Pretty good turnout, like John said, despite the fear of bad weather, and Santa chose a young man who helped him flip the switch on the Christmas tree, so that was outstanding and a lot of fun had by all. Thankfully, throughout Lebanon, our area, the Christmas festivities don't stop. Coming up this weekend on the 15th, Witham Family YMCA is holding breakfast with Santa. A lot of fun games, indoor snowball fight. If you've ever been there, it's kind of fun to do with the kiddos. That starts at the Y at 10 a.m. And then a little bit later on, downtown in the heart of Lebanon is what we call. You can meet Santa and also mail letters to the North Pole. There's a mailbox that goes right to the North Pole, and you get a response from Santa or his elves. That's happening at Sampson Family Leather from 1 until 4. And so if your kiddos or yourselves haven't had the chance to give your respective Christmas lists to Santa, you can sit on his lap at the Y or later on in the day at Sampson Family Leather, and also have your letters sent off to Santa. Our Lebanon Legends hope to get one of the 3 finished before the end of 2018. Spencer Baston, midget car driver, Reed Schaller, who got drafted by the Washington Nationals in their farm system, and also Drew Powell, which was a hilarious interview we did over Thanksgiving. I hope to wrap one of those up by 2018. There are a lot of really good sound bites and a lot of some graphics I've been working on too to kind of put with those pieces. But all 3 men really talked about and touted growing up in Lebanon and shared some fun experiences as well. So we'll look forward to finishing those 3, and then looking forward to 2019 and some other Lebanon legends we hope to kind of bring into the fold and share their stories as well. Working on getting those features not only on our website, but also on public access as well, in our YouTube channel, of course, so you can see all those Lebanon legends and hear their respective stories. Finally, for this evening, I am modeling, sort of, a new venture we're starting in 2019. We hope to have better models. Drew Powell was one of our models, but a little more famous than myself. But what we're doing this year, we're actually rolling into 2019, we're kicking off promotional materials and promotional gear that is Lebanon specific. As you can tell, we support Lebanon and Lebanon Tigers very, very well. This is a different quality of life initiative aimed at the city of Lebanon. As you can tell, this is vertical font, Lebanon, IN here at the side there. This is one of the styles that we're going with. We've been working with local designers to have some other ones too. Can you guys see that okay? This is the crossed arrow design. Have a couple different colors in that one. And as you can tell, Lebanon's colors, we're proud to have the black and gold, but these are a little bit different. We want you to be able to incorporate Lebanon, Indiana into your daily life. Sorry, microphone. We want to be able to incorporate your pride for your community, not just on Friday and Saturday night during game night. You're able to have and wear those to work and just around the community. Here's how we're going to do it, though. The T-shirts are $20 a piece, and so we had a very enthusiastic gentleman that was looking to buy one of the shirts that we were talking about, and so he was in the office today. We're getting the online store all wrapped up, or all set up rather, working with the clerk treasurer's office to lay all this out, but he was just really chomping at the bit. And so went ahead and we sold him a T-shirt. Here's the catch, though. It's $20 for the T-shirt, $10 of, he got this design, and so $10 of this shirt went back to get more inventory. And so it's $9.50 roughly a shirt, and so we're throwing that in. But also, he also had to establish his charity of choice, and so $10 of what he's paying, he gets to pay forward. And so he chose mental health, Boone County. And so the city of Lebanon, through this initiative, will be making a donation to mental health on behalf of this gentleman who made the purchase. And so we want folks to be able to wear and rep Lebanon, Indiana, while also helping out not-for-profits that affect Lebanon folks. So it's Mental Health America, Boone County, but they do, of course, do a great job here in Lebanon helping out folks of all ages. And so we'll have a list of not-for-profits that folks can choose from. And it won't just be shirts, it'll be different promotional items as well. But the T-shirts were kind of a low-hanging fruit, and so we're going to roll those out. 2 more designs by the end of the week. Like I said, we'll have a physical location downtown. We'll have an online store on the city's website, and be able to take your payment, be able to get you your goods, and we'll be able to ship those all over the continental U.S. And so that's a great way to be loving Lebanon, even though you maybe not live in Lebanon, Indiana right now. Speaking of the website, the newsletter will be released on January 2nd, 2019, Lord willing. If you have anything for that newsletter, info@lebanon.in.gov is the place to send that information. We update the community calendar, and so folks can go online and check that out. We also, at the top of the homepage, we have a picture that displays the Christmas parade. And so there's that. And also the This Is Home initiative we're going to really ramp up and take next level in 2019.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions from the board?
I love the shirts.
Good. Well, we have your size. So.
Joe, is someone local doing the shirts for us?
Yes, they are.
Okay, who's that?
They are the Hammock Brothers. Hammock Brothers Designs. We're working with them. I designed some of these. They designed and took some of their own licensing, but they print, and also we're working on setting up a physical location and collaborating with a current downtown Lebanon T-shirt designer as well, who's currently has a shop in our city.
I was wondering if your local guy was doing that.
Yep, all local.
Okay.
Good. Any questions from the public? Okay, thank you, Joe. All right, that concludes what I have for department head reports. So move on to old business. I don't have anything on the agenda. Anything from the board? No. Okay, then we'll move on to new business. First item up here is the Sonde Solutions City IT contract approval. Turn over to Robert Wiry to explain this.
Good evening, board. What I'm doing, and it's in your board documents, is an extension or a new contract. We contracted in 2016 with Sonde Solutions. It was a 3-year contract at the time, and it ends at the end of this year. So this would put us for 2019 through 2022 on the contract. So that's basically where we stand. One difference that we're going to have is that the city side will have its own IT support within this contract. It's kind of different right now. We share one with the utilities. This contract is going to give us our own support with that. Some questions were asked why I am presenting this. I'm one of the ones last that were on the governance committee for when we originally did the contract. in 2016, 15, 16. And so the mayor's asked me just to bring this before you. And I've went over, all these numbers have been budgeted, and already I gave them to Tanya in July when we were doing budget, so all the numbers are plugged into 2019's budget already. So this is just getting the contract approved by you guys.
Any questions for Robert?
You said 2-year, is it a 2-year
3.
contract?
3.
3, okay, thank you.
Has Rob had a chance to review the contract?
I know it's been shared with him, but we'll make approval contingent upon final legal review. So, we also have Jeff Rader too with Sonda Solutions. So if you have any questions for Jeff too, he's here to answer them. Anything from the board? Okay, then would entertain a motion to approve the Sonda contracts or Sonda Solutions IT contract pending final legal review and authorize the mayor to sign.
So move.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Motion is second. All those fair say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, we'll get that final review and get it signed for you guys. Thank you guys.
you.
I will say too, I have been very appreciative of all the help Sonda does for us. They've been really, really great partners with the city. Appreciate all the help, guys. All right, next up is a deaf child sign relocation request for the Lebanon Street Department. This is Dave. Hello again. Sandra Browning's the lady's name. We've put a sign up on 716 West Royal Street. I don't know, it's been a long time ago, before my time, I guess, and she is relocating to 1314 Jerry Drive. And she just, instead of putting a new sign up, we're just going to move the existing sign. We just want to make sure it's approved without just throwing a sign up.
What's that location again?
The new location or the old? The new one's
location?
1314 Jerry Drive. Okay. Seems fairly straightforward. Any questions for Dave? Okay.
I don't necessarily have a question as a comment.
Yeah.
I hate these things. They
we're-
are a city's nightmare because these and children playing signs are everywhere.
So I believe we are actually required by law for the deaf child
That's
signs.
every time we put one of these up, we show liability. And that's one reason why we should not put any of these signs up. Now, having a homeowner put one up in his own yard is okay, but us putting it out is another case. I don't know if it's in the law that we are to do that, but I'm just telling you, I do know for a fact, if we put this sign up in our right-of-way, we are showing liability and we become liable for this. And that same thing goes with a children's playing sign, that we show liability. And that is something that we really, they tell you want to avoid. And they tell you not to put these signs up, so I just.
It's different than what I've heard from other mayors.
I know the cities do it,
Well, I guess we can look into it if that's, I don't know if, I mean, I don't know if by putting up a sign, we automatically.
I know when I was years ago when I was at the county and we had these typical issues, we told them that we'll give you the sign, but you have to put it in your property, at your property line, and we can't put it out there in the street or in the county right away because that shows us liable. So that identifies that area, wherever that is, that we're liable in that area because of that.
Okay.
And we'd have children playing, and we had that one, and horse crossings and things like that, you know. So I just know it's a liability issue. Board can do what they want. We can do what we want, but
This sign exists now. It exists now. It's been up for a long time. It's just we're moving it to a new location. I mean, I guess from my end, if we can help somebody that, I ain't walking in their shoes, so.
It's up to everybody else what you'd like to do.
Is council going to review that?
No, it's up to the board.
Oh, it's up to us?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, Rob, any initial thoughts on? Sorry.
I mean, I haven't looked at it before, so I'd want to look at it more fully, but I think as we've talked about it, it's the city assumes liability, on a daily basis, sidewalks and all that, so but I have not looked at this.
I just know from insurance meetings that I've sat in, that in educational classes with lawyers and so forth, these are the things they tell you don't do because it makes you liable. So, but I know we do things that sometimes that we just do it anyway, so, you know.
Would it be appropriate to table this until our meeting in January for Rob to have an opportunity to really review that and come back with a recommendation? Or?
We can always move it. I mean, Dave, how hard is it to pull out a sign if we think it's too much of a liability? Is it hard to pull out the sign? No, I think this sign's on its own, isn't it, Craig? Yeah, that's my only thought. We're going to pull the sign regardless because they're moving. Yeah, I don't think it's hard to pull it out if we need to. That's my thought.
But if there is a state law that says we have to, I don't know.
So on the slow child, that's not a state law, but I believe if it's a deaf child or a blind child, that they do have that protection. I'm pretty sure. But
if there's a state law that says that, I don't have a problem doing that.
Okay. Because this is for a deaf child, correct? Correct.
I just know the other.
I would agree on the slow child thing. I would agree, but I believe this is a special class because of the deaf child. So
check it out.
Okay. We'll have Rob review it, but
we can put it up, and if it's a problem, it wouldn't be hard to take back down.
Okay. So would entertain a motion to approve the sign relocation request?
I would move to approve the sign relocation pending Rob's review from the standpoint of the state law on that.
Okay. We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we'll move on. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
Now, to be clear, we can put the sign up.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
You can't.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to surplus equipment request for the Parks Department. I'll let John introduce this.
Yes, good evening. Yes, we
Our
have
antique tractor collection.
Excuse me. Yeah, we have an old tractor, a Massey Harris. Its model is Pony. The year is 1949. And then a VIN number, I think, I'm not sure, it's really old. It's been reconditioned. The history on this is, let's see, I've been there 10 years. It was there way before me. A couple of maintenance guys, somebody brought a tractor in, they reconditioned it. It's been sitting around. It has no purpose for us, so I'd like to surplus it. Chuck Hunt, who isn't here today, a local auctioneer, came out, said it isn't worth very much because it has been reconditioned, wasn't done properly. So that's where we are. I'd like to surplus it.
Okay. Bill, anything from your end? I know you got the paperwork already submitted here.
Yeah, everyone has a copy of the paperwork to basically submit it, so, you know, for surplus. I did contact the Massey dealer, and they gave me an estimate of $2,600 as a value. That's over our $1,000, so we'll have to advertise it or take sealed bids.
Okay, that'd be good. I do have a couple people that are interested in it.
Okay.
So that'd be great. I'll go ahead and advertise just one advertisement in the local paper. Is there any laws on that, rules, regulations?
There are.
Whatever it is, I'll comply.
We'll follow with you.
That's great if you guys will pass that.
Okay. So unless anyone else thinks we need a more than 50-year-old tractor? Okay.
I make a motion, we declare the Massey Harris tractor surplus.
Okay, we have a motion to declare it surplus. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that has been declared surplus.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. All right, that concludes what I have for new business on my agenda. Anything from the board? Okay, then I will move on to the claims, and we entertain a motion.
I move to approve the claims.
We have
Second.
a motion and a second to approve the claims. All those in favor say aye.
I've got a question.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Dick.
Page 3 on the claims, and Chief Ormuth might have to answer this for us. This was Lebanon Police Department and training, and it was said food for 3 during ILE.
Yes, sir, that's for the entire 17 weeks.
17 weeks?
Yeah, it's a 17-week academy, that's there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yes, that wasn't
Okay.
just for several days.
Okay, okay. And I would also ask that maybe we consider holding the check for DevLab Creative. They're doing our website maintenance, and right now our website needs a lot of work. It's unfinished, and I think until they get it finished, I think we better hold up on this maintenance until they can get that website finished up, because it's really, I looked at it over the weekend, I was really bad. Really needs to be finished up.
Joe, do you want to touch on that at all with, I know you talked with Chad.
A couple different points to make regarding the website. If you may remember that the website was down for 2.5 months, and so during that time and trying to get that site back, we were unable to add any content to it, so that's the first off. I actually passed that email along to Chad. The mayor and I talked to him about it. One of the things that he stressed is he is in the building on a regular basis and is dependent on departments to get him content to update sites, and so mentioned that hasn't been done exactly on a regular basis, so he kind of put it on the city to crack the whip a little bit. So whether you choose to pay him or not, those are the two explanations that we had, both the website being down for as long as it was while we transitioned to a new host, and then those folks that actually do update the site with content.
And I will say, Dick, this is something that we have already talked about. We're probably going to handle in our department head retreat coming this later this month, talking about how we improve that and make sure we get that updated, and that's something we've already been talking about. So I understand your concern. I know. I mean, they've been very responsive and are working with us to address it. So.
Well, I'll give them another 30 days to get it fixed.
Yeah. Well, if you have specific things you'd like to see, please let me know.
We got board members' pictures that are on there, and I'm thinking, here's the board. Come in and take the picture. You know, I mean, we don't have to be attractive sitting in the display. We're come in and take the picture the night we're here. So,
all right. All right. We'll like I said, that's an area of focus for us.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. All right. Thank you, Dick. All right. We have a motion and a second to approve the claims. All those fair say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay. Claims are approved. And we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
A second.
Motion and a second. All those fair say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. We are adjourned. The next Board of Works meeting will be January 14th of 2019. We'll see you in the new year. Thank you.